Hey everyone, you're watching FinGeeks, and in today's video we'll be talking about vertical analysis of financial statements. So basically there are various ways of doing financial statement analysis about which we'll be talking in our upcoming videos as well. So consider subscribing to the channel for more such content. But in today's video we'll be specifically focusing on vertical analysis of financial statements. So let's straight away dive into what is vertical analysis and how it is done. So although we'll be doing a practical example of vertical analysis on Microsoft Excel as well, but let's start with knowing and getting a perspective about what is vertical analysis. So as you can see on the screen, vertical analysis is a kind of financial statement analysis wherein each item in the financial statement is shown in the percentage of the base figure. The formula for vertical analysis is statement line item upon total base figure into 100. So basically what we are trying to do is we are trying to convert each and every line item in the financial statement, that is you can say an income statement or profit and loss account. We are converting each line item of income statement in terms of percentage. Now what is the motive behind it, why we are doing it? So the main reason is that when everything gets converted into percentage terms, it is much easier to compare the financial statements of one company with another and across industries. So we'll be talking about the advantages in the later part of this video, but first let's start doing vertical analysis on Microsoft Excel. So as you can see on the screen that we have income statement of XYZ Limited and we have figures for the year 2017, 18 and 19. So as we discussed in vertical analysis that we need to convert every line item in terms of percentage. Now to convert it in percentage, you can see the formula here, statement line item upon base figure into 100, right? Now in income statement what we do is we take base figure as total revenues. So let me show you what I have done here. So for example, there is revenue from sales, goods and services in 2017. I took it, I divided it by the total revenue in 2017. I fixed the row so that it becomes easier to calculate, and hence we get the percentage. So that's basically it, and that's how you convert everything in terms of percentage, and you will get everything in terms of percentage. Now you can see that by converting all these things in terms of percentage, it has become much more readable and much more inferential. Now as you can see in terms of net profit, you can see that year on year net profit, first it was 6.22% of the total revenues, now it is 6.31 and then it is 6.91. So you can say that in 2019 it has decreased a bit in term if you compare it with 2018, right? Similarly you can see gross profit. A gross profit has substantially reduced. So initially it was 50% of the revenue, but it became 46%, then it became 42% of the revenue, right? So now what can be the reason? The reason is simple. Since gross profit is total revenues minus cost of goods sold, so it means our cost of goods sold might be increasing. So let's see here. So as you can see, it is actually increasing. So in 2017 our cost of goods sold was 50% of total revenue, but then it increased to 54% of total revenue, and now it has increased to 58% of total revenue in 2019. Hence, because our cost of goods sold has increased, our gross profit, which is total revenue minus cost of goods sold, has decreased. Our gross profit has decreased over the years, so it becomes easy to see. Other way around, you can also look at what are your depreciation expense. So you can see that the percentage of depreciation expense has reduced by 1% in 2018, and then again it has remained constant in 2019 as well. Your interest expense was 4% of total revenues in 2017. It came down to 2% in 2018. It came down to 2019 1% of total revenue, right? So it means that you might be paying off your long-term debts, and hence your interest expense has reduced over the years. Now let's go to the balance sheet and make its vertical analysis again. We'll be following the similar procedure, just in the total base figure. In the terms of balance sheet, we'll be taking the total asset or total liabilities value. So as you can see, we have converted everything, each and every line item of our balance sheet into percentage terms as well, so that it becomes much easier to compare now. And now we can also simultaneously analyze our profit and loss statement and compare how balance sheet has affected. So let's make a comparative analysis then. So as we saw in our income statement that our finance cost, that is income, interest expense, have reduced over the years. It became 4% of total revenues. In 2017 it was 4% of total revenues, in 2018 it was 2% of total revenues, and in 2019 it became 1% of total revenues. So what you can infer is that over the years you might have been reducing your long-term borrowings, right? Because on long-term borrowings you pay the interest expenses. So let's see in our balance sheet that is it happening or not. So we go to balance sheet. This is equity and liabilities side, and we have long-term borrowings somewhere in here, right? So as you can see, our long-term borrowings over the years has been reducing substantially. So initially our long-term borrowings were 10% of our total capital employed. Then it became 3% of total capital employed, and it became almost 0%. Although it's not 0%, it's 0.17% of total capital employed, but it has reduced substantially. So you can see the comparative effect, right? When it's in terms of percentage, it becomes easier to analyze that way. Let's also look at what we can infer from balance sheet, just the balance sheet itself, right? So we can also see that in asset section, in current asset section, there is trade receivable, whose percentage is, it was 16%, then 15%, then 17%. So it has also increased. Up trade receivable increasing means you are doing a bit more credit sales, like it's 1% more than the last year, 2% more than the last year, sorry, right? If we compare to 2018, it's 17%. In 2018 it was 15%. In 2019 it has become 17%. So it means you have done a bit more credit sales. Then you can see short-term loans and advances was initially almost near about 0%, then it became 3% of total assets, then they are 4% of total assets. So it means you have started giving loan out to the people. Then inventories, yes, inventories, this is initially your inventories were 20% of the total assets, then it became 20%, and it was again 20% in 2016, but in 2019 it has 16% of your total assets are inventories, right? So I hope you got the basic gist of how vertical analysis is done and what is it about, right? So let's just talk about the few more advantages of vertical analysis. So it basically provides comparable percentage which can be used to compare with previous years. So as you can see, we were doing the example of XYZ Limited. We had its data for 2017, 18 and 19. So we could compare across the years that what progress it has made on and what are the loopholes there, right? Since everything was in percentage, it became easy to compare and look at. Second is different organization statements can be compared as the comparison is made in percentage. So there can be a situation that a company can be compared with another big giant, although their numbers are very much high, but since everything is in percentage, it becomes easier to compare, right? It helps to understand the structural composition of various components like cost, expenses, asset and liabilities. So obviously you can easily see that what amount of your cost of goods sold is what amount of your total revenue, right? How much total revenue is being consumed in cost. So you can easily see the structural composition of various components by using vertical analysis. So hopefully this video has been informative for you and you got the sense of what is vertical analysis and how it is done. So if you like the video, give us a thumbs up, share your valuable feedbacks in the comment section, and consider subscribing to our channel for more such content. Thank you and see you in the next video.